Another tricky opening, guys. Another tricky opening. The only thing I like here, I just don't know if we're going to be trapped in this area. This week is the notorious chop week. Tomorrow was non-farm payroll and CPI numbers coming Friday, and you can kind of look at last night's session and see that we were just stuck pretty much in a chop zone all night long. This is not a look at this chop fest that we had last night. It was horrible last night. It looks like they finally had a little breakout. Around 3, 4 o'clock this morning, then just pretty much retrace that whole move. But 80 is kind of like a little line in the sand here. If we can get above 80, the only problem about getting above 80, there's a big order block sitting up here at the 400s. And you know me, I do not like longing the first time into the whole number like that. So the longs are going to be very difficult for me to take this morning, even though it may work. But that's just something I don't do. I don't long into the whole numbers. So if it's the first push, let's just say right here we stick here in the 70s, and that first push to the 90 and the 400, we won't take that. Like I said, we never take our very first trade into the whole numbers like that. It would have to hit through there, then pull back for us to take it on the second entry if it continues. But if it pushes up, then kind of gets going back through, going back through that 15 minutes, we'll look for a short then. Because this is a data wick down at 300. So this is a possible destination this morning to the downside, the 300s. You got to be careful if you're taking that long. Just remember, we got the London highs sitting at 405. And we got a big order block also sitting up here around the 420s. Then we got some more volume resistance sitting up there. Man, way up there. What is that, 466? So, down to the downside, I would look to take profit by 300. Or at least if you may leave your runner, there's another big set of order blocks down there at the 300s. So, and that's what we've been just kind of trapped between those order blocks from overnight. I can pull it down and show you and kind of give you an idea what I'm looking at here. All right. As you can see, we've already kind of retested that bottom order block here. And we also got the London lows for the overnight lows down there also too, the Asia low. So I would really like to get a move to the downside. I feel like we have more of a distance to run to get that 20-point runner this morning than I like to the upside. And plus, see, we left that, we did not run those AM lows from yesterday all the way back down to 25,000, and they may save something like that for non-farm payroll or CPI numbers later this week. So just hopefully it doesn't stay choppy. Then we're just kind of stuck here today getting chopped up. I mean, if it's chopping, just put away your funded, switch to eval, and just do eval trading. That's usually the smartest route to do if you kind of, if you got chop fest going on. Another reason that I like the downside this morning is because this is the 50% of this previously hourly candle that we just ran. So this is why I kind of like the downside a little bit. A lot of times you will run that 50% of the previous candle and you will sell back off. And we got equivalent to almost equal lows sitting down there at these 4-hour candles. I mean, I can't tell if they're exact, but man, they are close. Look. Oh, it didn't run it. How about that? I thought it did. Okay. Then we also got the previous day high sitting at 429. I also like to play off that previous day high and low. So a lot of times if we get above the previous day high, we'll pretty much make a nice move to the upside. If we make a big move above the previous day high and come back through it, I like to short it. I missed the short yesterday. I just wasn't feeling it, and I think it sold down like 60, 70 points yesterday off that previous day high. Yeah, I would just recommend being patient today, guys, because this is non-farm payroll week. They moved non-farm payroll. I guess whenever they had that partial government shutdown, they didn't release the numbers. So now that they are, they're getting released the same week as what's up, Fish Lips? Sorry about that. I haven't got my chat over here yet. Trying to get focus about how I'm gonna take this opening trade here. I'm getting to the point where I've taken so many wins on this opening trade, Fish Lip. It's like I'm anticipating a loss. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm over here, like man, it's like I almost feel like I need to get my loss out of the way to get it over with. Because it's been several weeks since I've taken a loss on this opening trade. So I just feel like I'm due. It's just what it feels like. Usually if I take a loss, it's always like the second trade or the fourth trade or something to that. But that very first trade's usually pretty spot on. So 80 is my kind of my swing point. If you go over there and probably look at the hourly candles, let's see. We'll look at the hourly candles. You can see we got some pretty ugly going on here with the hourly with the so that would be breaking that previous candle. And it looks like we don't have a wick on the bottom of these candles. This is why I kind of like the, or maybe I just can't see my wicks because they're in the lines. I think that's what it is. I mean, this is insane. 1 minute trend. What time is it? 8:15? 9:15? Ugh. I don't know, Fish Lips. There's just no way I'll be able to take my long into that 400. So there's just no way. Taking your trade into the whole number is very, very risky, especially when you're talking about the 90s to the. Now that was the first hit, so that does kind of give you a little bit more motivation that you can take that into it, but it still is not that whole number. You'd almost want to see that whole number get hit. Or if you can, I may even wait for the safer trade this morning. We'll see what the price action offers. So the safer trade is where it goes up, makes a new high, goes down, makes a new low. Now, not overall, but just the area of the move. Then you look for that pullback into the 15 minutes. That's a possibility too. Or if we're going to move up, let's just say we get this quick push down to the 30 levels and it holds, then that would be a better looking trade for the move back up into the whole number. All right, here comes that whole number. You would almost want to see a test of the whole number first, then get the pullback. Then that would be a good scenario for long because we're already kind of breaking out of that 15 minutes here. And we got a data wick sent down at 300. So we got an uncontested data wick. This was from whatever news was released this morning. So a very, very small 15-minute candle this morning, which is fairly good. I mean, you could almost play this 15-minute candle and got like a 15-point stop loss. So good 15-minute candle this morning, not too big. The 50% is sitting here at 75. So this could be a nice setup where we hit 400, pull back 50% of the candle, hit 75, and maybe rip up. That there is a good possibility too for a play that we can look for. Like when you take these plays, guys, you got to be super fast. It's almost hard to watch somebody do these because they just happen so quick, especially when you're dealing with the opening. I just try to explain on myself the scenarios that we could do in the morning time and try to see what works. So I did like the fact that we pushed up and hit the 400. This way you're not taking a first hit up into those whole numbers. Because remember, there's always resistance going most of the time going in between 90 and the 10. So between whatever 90 you're at, the whole number, and 10, there's always some kind of resistance or back and forth. It's just never really clean. So I like the fact that we hit it here. This way we could possibly get the pullback. Now, where I would start looking for a possible short, if we break through that 75 with like a lot of speed. So hopefully we can get a little bit more on our runner today. Yesterday we just got 20 points on the very first trade, but we didn't get anything on the runner. So we just made $80. So for longs, I would be looking to hopefully be done with all my profit after we pretty much hit this previous day high, or this is the top of the right now the current 4-hour candle. Then for some reason, if we can't find an entry on the get-go, you can always wait for the second or third 5-minute candle to kind of just get you an idea. And then what I'll do is I usually pull fib on that 5-minute candle to see if we're going to still stay bullish. And then we will take it like that. I don't know. I know some people always ask me about the opening. I know the opening is never, hardly ever the same. You might get 2 days of the type of price action where it's the same. So right now, if we pull back into the 15 minutes, we'll be looking for longs because we've already ran up here once. If we break through this 50% area here at the 75, we could possibly look for a short down to 30s, to the 330s. Then 300 at the latest for this data wick run. And we're just looking for 20 points. We're only trading 3 micros. So in my last runner, I'm usually looking for 40 to 50 points. So you can probably make, usually I try to make anywhere between 80 to like 180. Or 180 to 160. All right, so we got. So today we have a very small risk to rewards. Actually, today the 15-minute candle is very small because you're supposed to use the 15-minute candle as your stop loss. And you only use 50% of it. So let's see where that's at. 75, 76, down to what? 68. I mean, 10 points. I mean, today the risk reward is definitely pretty good. So you should only have to risk 10 points on this trade. Mark these lines out because, like I said, those are my entry points. I mean, right now it's looking very bullish, so. All right. Pull back, pop. Is there anybody else here trading the opening, or do you guys mostly just wait for the market to settle down? I know for the longest I never did trade the opening. We've just recently got to the point where we trade the opening every day. So the only way that we miss this trade also, let's just say we don't get the pullback into the 15 minutes and it just goes straight up. We won't be able to take it. Yeah, that's almost run into what the previous 4-hour candle. Oh, this one here. Wait, is that 6:30 from last night? Let's see, 6:30. Oh, you're talking about this morning. Okay. That's a good possibility too, because that's up there at that previous day high, and that's the high of that 4-hour candle. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you take the long this morning, you want to have most of your profit done by the time you hit that 430 up there. I'm always very eerie about longing into the whole numbers. It's hard for me to long into that 90 to 110 area just because I know the type of resistance we get. What do we got? 5 minutes to go. I mean, right now this is looking super bullish. I mean, anytime you get a straight up candle and you start just kind of consolidating sideways. So, and this candle cannot pull back and kind of overtake the bottom of this candle. You're on your first eval ever? Oh wow, nice, Lucas. Just try not to over leverage so you don't blow it up too quickly. Ooh. Right now, Lucas, we're only on 3 eval. I mean, not 3 evals, 3 micros. What do we got? Less than 3 minutes to go. Are you trading on the NQ also, Lucas? Well, it's actually looking pretty enticing for a long here. I just don't want to get tagged in before we open. Yeah, I'm only looking for 420 to 430 to possibly get ran if we take the long fish lips. I would prefer to short, if you must be honest. I would prefer us to run this data wick down here at the 300 here. There's 50% of the 15-minute range, so we're trying to stay in the range here. Very, very. All right, last minute here. $30 seconds. Like I said, if we don't like it, we don't take it. $12 seconds. All right, looks like the bottom's. Break even on that one. All right, we'll try one more. Looks like we're going to take a loss on this one. Okay. I figured we were due, guys. All right, switch accounts real quick. All right. Make sure we're on the right account. Wow. I'm taking back-to-back losses this morning. All right. Whew, that's brutal this morning, guys. All right, now we have to just wait for this 5-minute candle to print. So, like I said, one loss and done on those. Oh, was I on the wrong account? No. I feel like I was due. I haven't really lost one in about 3 weeks, so I figure I was due for a loss here. All right, let me make sure. What? trying to make sure I'm on the right account. $26. Okay. All right, we just kind of have to wait for this 5-minute candle to print. Then after this trade, we'll log off our Bullish accounts. No, it won't. I got 2 more accounts that we can trade. What do we got? A minute and 50 seconds left, guys. Minute 50 seconds left. So far, we just opened up right now just in a 60-point range. All right, looking good for a 5-minute candle here. You just need to see this next 5-minute candle print and have a little bit of a wick on it. $20 seconds left. Remember, try not to run your accounts on non-farm payroll, guys. If you take a loss, just put your account away and save it, tomorrow. This way we don't dig ourselves in a hole. We're just rotating through our fundeds right now. So they'll either be winners or losers. Let's see if we can get through this here. Looking for a 25 hit here. There's the 25. We're going to try to stay right above this 50 level. Anticipate a bounce here at the 300s, guys. What do we got left? We got a minute. We got a lot left on this 5-minute candle. So that blue line on my chart is the 25. Still got a minute left on this 5-minute candle. Yes, John, MNQ. You're looking for 25 to hold here. If 25 doesn't hold, it's probably going back to the 50. Okay. So just lost the hit. That was a retest of that 25 to 50 area. Fish Lips thinks that we get to 250, guys, if you're looking for a downward target. Unfortunately, we just didn't get down to that 250. So all right, there's nothing we can do here, guys, until we get some kind of pullback. Unfortunately, we're going to be red in our one account, the one funded that we need now. Instead of needing 400, we need 500. So that was the trade that we were just in on the 115. That was from last night. So we can look for, this is 75, so maybe look for a retest of the whole number here, then maybe look for a short off of the whole number. Nope. What is Paris's? This is a MNQ plan. There's your 100 tests. Probably going all the way back up to 325 if I had to guess. Just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with the 300 level here. We could get a push back up to 325 here, or even all the way back up to 380. Remember, guys, it's your first time here. We only trade 2 or 3 micros per trade. We don't over leverage. We're just trying to make anywhere between $80 to $200 on our accounts. Then try not to lose more than 120 per trade. All right, new 5-minute candle here. Ah, shoot, we may move up. We kind of, well, I don't know. Do we have an equal low sitting down there? It looks like it wants to hold. Man. Trying to get a plate down to 55 here. Back above 300 is going to be my line in the sand here. So we'll close this trade back above 300. If I feel like it's going to get above, if it can't hold. Ah, shoot. Got to close it. Come on, one more 10. Still on the struggle bus a little bit. Hopefully that wasn't my only chance to get out of this trade. If it doesn't, you get that opportunity to get out of a trade. I'm hoping that we can at least get 75 push here. Oh no, we hit the 75 on the dot. Oh well, if we get stopped out, I'm not going to risk another pullback. We can always re-enter. All right, good. We got through the 75. And this thing's just whipping right now, guys. All right, goodness. I feel like once we break this area, we're going to go. So we take our trades in between whole numbers and looking for 10 points at the moment. So now we kind of just switch to a scalping type where we're just scalping in between whole numbers and following the trend. So I still feel like we get a 50 touch here. There's the 50 touch. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to stay in it with our runner, but there's your 50 touch to the tick. Now you'll probably get a push back up to the 75 to 300. So the market's always going in between these whole numbers in the trend level. Like they're bouncing off whole numbers back up to like, you can literally, you can scalp in between whole numbers if you stay with the trend. If we print here at the 50, you may get another push down to the, what do you want to call it? A push down to the 25 here. But I would prefer to see a pullback first, either to the 75 or even up to the 300 again. Nice call out on the 250 this morning, Fish Lips. Whew, I think blasted the 300s. No, this is a MNQ, NASDAQ. There's your 325. All right. Nice on the 75-point winner, Fish Lips. It's around what you said, 10:30, John. Yeah, because that would almost be the 50% pullback of this hourly candle, and also up there between the 9 EMA and the 21 EMA, around that 50 level. We only got $30 out of that last trade, so didn't get very much out of it. So we're going to still look for another entry. Try to look for one more funded entry. And then we need to make $50 more on a eval to pass it. And the ATD, way I have my ATM strategy set up is we got 2 contracts coming off at 10 points, and then we're looking for as much as anywhere for 50 points on the runner. So some days, whenever it's super choppy, we get stopped out on our what do you want to call it, our runner quite a bit. So it's kind of a hit and miss with the runner, especially when we're kind of chopping back and forth. I mean, I knew today was going to be tough trading just because it's non-farm payroll tomorrow, and plus it's CPI numbers this Friday. So a lot of your strategies are just going to get ate up. Today is just, if you can survive this week, and yeah, tomorrow is unemployment, non-farm payroll. So usually the day before non-farm payroll can be fairly tough. Like a lot of times you won't get good follow through. Like I'm not going to be faked out by this 5-minute candle here. So were you looking at that this little gap for that 36 pullback? Who called it? Who said something about 36? Was that you, John? Somebody had 36. Oh, Bay. Okay. Were you looking for this fair value gap to trade back in? Yeah, it's usually if you're, if you don't want to trade like this high volatility time, it's probably best to wait till after 10 o'clock to 10:30. All right, looking very, very bullish right now, guys. We're gonna probably run those 430s now. I can see us running those 430s. What do we got? We're about to have a new 5-minute candle, so maybe a good buying opportunity here. Trying to pull fib. Make sure it gets through this 15 minutes here. We're going to wait for the 400 to get hit and see what happens with the whole number first. That's the only reason why I didn't take that long, just because I hate longing into the 90 and the 400. There's your 400 retest. Come on, pull back. You need a 75 pullback here. All right, might be able to take a trade over 400 here. Prefer to see it pull back to the 75. I know as soon as I try to enter this up around the 400s, it's going to just rip back to the 75. Then I got to sit through freaking drawdown. So really need to see this pull back a little bit. Come on. Yeah. Remember, just try not to jump in too early. There's your 400. Made long above 400 here. because we already hit above 400 once. So now we might be going to the 420s, 430s up there. I'm going to go to break even fairly fast on this because I don't know if we're going to rip off that 410 up there. Because we can always re-enter if it doesn't work out. Shit. Like I said, anytime entering around these whole numbers is always super tough, guys. You always get like just insane, just whipsaw action. Because I'm still anticipating a pullback to the 75. All right, we're just going to risk 10 points. If we get stopped out, we'll just re-enter. We'll just use our profits that we won a while ago as our break-even trade. Because right now we're up like 30-something bucks, 40 bucks. So this would be a $60 loss. So it would be like being in the red, 30 bucks. All right. We will re-enter. It's like that's 30 bucks in the red. Like I said, we don't over leverage our accounts. Watch this thing just slingshot without me. Go to the moon. All right, here's see if we get the retest of the 75 here. We're also at the top of the hour, so this is usually kind of a breakout time of the day. Didn't quite get that 75 hit. Back at the 400 again. Didn't quite get the 75 pullback. Dude, that 400 to 410 has just been a straight battle. How's everybody else's morning going so far? So far, guys, we are red, green, green. So we've traded 5 different accounts. Still was kind of trying to take this long up here, but man. goodness. I just don't see how we don't push up to that 420, 430 area. So that's kind of what we're waiting on. I don't know if we need to wait for a second 5-minute candle. We still got a minute, minute 10 seconds left on this next 5-minute candle. So if this next 5-minute candle cannot push back below this wick, kind of back in the 15 minutes, and you get that break back of 400, that may be the push that we're waiting on here. And you also have a very tight range because you could get some resistance at the break in the previous high of this 4-hour candle and your previous day high at 430. So you do have a lot of light resistance sitting up there. So if you are going to take trades, look for your 10 points and seeing what your runner can give you, because you might only be able to get 10 points. All right, here's our new 5-minute candle. You kind of want to wait and see what happens with this 4-hour candle here. Not 4-hour candle, this 5-minute candle we're on. I feel like if we can break above this, we should get a push here. There's the pop above. Woo, boner candle. Boner candle. Yeah, Vincent, go ahead. Nice if you took that. That's why we had that line put there. Anytime you usually get a little consolidation candle here on the 5 minutes, and come on. What was your question, Vincent? So the longs ended up paying out on that one. If some of you've got bigger stop loss, that's you. I don't really know what most of you guys do as far as your how much your risk and reward is, but I usually keep a. It says, how do you get more leverage with one trade, like with $10 to get? I'm using prop firms to trade Vin. Be careful with Trade Evade, because I just got stuck in a trade, so be careful with them. Now I know they I don't know what the leverage is like on futures. Like if you're just trading, I'm not sure how much you have to put onto Ninja or Trade for their leverage, but I'm pretty sure you got to at least put a few $100s to get the leverage amount. Because usually, if you're just trading micros, it's usually like $2. But I'm just trading prop firm accounts. So, like this count right here. No, we just took that. Remember where I put this little line? I said if we break above this line here after this consolidation candle, we should get a pop. So I took the one before that and we took a small loss because we were trying to catch this breakout to the upside to run this previous day high up at the 330s. So unfortunately, I didn't make all the profit I wanted to make because we only got $70 because we had to make up for the $50 that we lost a while ago. And that was on this one. It's hard to really call breakouts because they happen so fast. But we'll have to live with this red day here. There's nothing I can do about that red day because my goal with this account is either a loss or a win. But like I said, only you can control what your risk management with, what kind of risk management you're planning on having. Like most of all my trades are between 2 to 5 micros, depending on what I'm trading. So right now, I'm going to start looking for a eval trade. I need to make $50 to pass it. So we're kind of printing above this. This comes back and retests this and holds. I mean, it could be another possibility for long here. Yep, my win streak's finally over, Jake. We finally took a loser on the opening trade. That was what that I actually took 2 losses, but one I jumped back in on that short, and we got back in the green by like $60. But yeah, we took back-to-back losses this morning on that opening, man. It was just whipping so hard that nice. Well, good thing you made it back. Just be careful doing the over leveraging to make it back because sometimes that'll bite you in the butt. I'm going to live with my red here, Jake, because that's a very manageable red. So $93. And right now we're up 53,100 in this account. So there's really no reason to try to get that back without risking it. So we're just going to live with that $100 red day. So now what we're looking for is to try to make $50 on this account here. And we'll be done with that one. And that'll be our 5th. We'll have 5 funded with Bullish. Here, you need to kind of wait and see what happens with this 30 level here. You may get a push up to 62. We're going to run into some resistance up there in the 60s. There's a big order block sitting up there in the 60s. I want to say it's either 8 or 10, which it's easy to get 8 or 10 trading days. Like this account that I'm trading now, that the one I have 3,000 something in, I have like 29 or 30 trading days in it. But see, I don't over leverage though. That's the reason why it takes me a little longer because we're only trading a few micros at a time. Bullish is not 40%. So you can make $1,200, $1,300 a day with an account. All right, nice pullback here. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure you can. Well, with the, now that's only with a funded. With eval, there is no consistency. You can pass that in one day if you just wanted a full port, but I don't really recommend that if you're fairly new to trading. But if you got it funded, you can make as much as $1,200 a day on it. Yeah, we're just going to be patient and wait for some kind of pullback because that thing could just whip back up here on you. So be careful. That could be the bottom. They had that same type of move yesterday. Ooh, look at that previous day close hit. I missed that one. Is there anybody in a trade right now? Is everybody sitting on the sideline, guys? So this 115 came from last night because we traded. No, I mean, if you're already rich and underage, I definitely don't have any, I guess, advice. Probably your parents are probably doing probably a lot better for information there than myself. But thank you for asking, D4. We are at the previous day close, guys. Usually that's a nice area. If you're looking for a really high win percentage little 10-point trade, that previous day close will almost give you 10 points after the 10 o'clock hour every time. We got this big gap fill in all the way down back at 300. And did we run the data wick from this morning? Yeah, we ran the data wick from this morning. Just being patient and waiting here, guys. Like I said, we're going to be trading our eval on this next trade. We're probably done trading fundeds today. We traded 4 different funded accounts, so we're going to be red on one and 3 on the others. I took that other short over here earlier whenever we were selling off to get this one back in the green, but that's why it's only up $60. So because we were in the red on this one about $100 while ago. This one I have been trading a little bit more, but this one here is strictly one trade and done. Then the last one that we were in was this one here. I got to make sure I'm on my right accounts. Two pretty consistently, Jake. When I first started, it was like probably 6 or 7 months where I only did it like once a week, or pretty much once a week on a Monday. Then here and there in the evenings, but only like once a day for a while. Remember, guys, if you're green today, take your green and move on. Like I said, tomorrow was non-farm payroll. This is usually a notorious tough day to trade sometimes. A lot of times stops are getting ran. A lot of big wicks. I mean, you got to see, we only had one good looking candle all morning, and this was this one and probably this one. But most of the times, what it is, you're just getting bodies with big wicks on them. So you're just not getting good follow through. So that's what makes it tough to trade today is the follow through. That's why it's good not to jump in on candles that are not finished printing, especially if you're trading on the 5 minutes. So my eval, we're going to be taking this eval on these Rico candles over here. So now this next one's going to be looking probably a little weird whenever it comes on my charts because we're going to be on Rico candles. So the last trade we took, that's why we were trying to long the that 400 to 410s before it finally hit. All right, another 5 minute candle. Ooh. Oh, you're welcome, dude. It can be a tough journey sometimes. That's why they always say like 90% people trade usually quits. Trust me, there's been plenty of times where I'm just like, I've had enough. But it it can definitely have a lot of tough up and downs. That's why I always try to tell people, like, that's why, like, when you were buying those Tradeify accounts, I was like, those are too expensive, Jake. Too expensive. Don't spend that much money. That's why I try to tell people to, start off as cheap as possible if they can. So whenever they blow those expensive evals, it doesn't frustrate you to quit. Because those are pretty pricey evals if you're paying that much for them. It's a little cheaper up front, but how many upfront evals you got to have before you blow those things? Yeah, trying to get. That's why I recommend those cheap evals because it allows you to put some kind of little motion on the table if you're spending like 15 or 20 bucks. But I can imagine what your emotions are if you're spending $100. That's why it took me forever to get comfortable trading funded accounts. 6 months ago, you would not see me taking this many funded trades. Like there was just no way. But now I've got to the point where I just got to tell myself that I just got to do it. If I know it works, just do it. If it fails, it fails. You just have to get used to like not letting your losses affect you. That's a hard point to overcome is to live with this red day, to sit here and stare to like, man, it's going to be a red day. I got to live with that red day. Get used to getting a red day and living with it. Like, yep, oh well, we got a loss. Move on to the next account. This is why I'm cycling through accounts. And that's what Fish Lips does too. He cycles through all of his accounts. That way, if you have red on one and green on four more, it doesn't hurt as bad. Kind of plays the mind games with you. Man, look at this ugly 5-minute candle, guys. Remember, this is really not a good week to trade if you're fairly new to trading anyway, Jake. This is big news for the trading community. Non-farm payroll is usually a massive, massive wick day. Like I'm talking about, you can get a 200-point move in one candle on non-farm payroll day. And you got CPI coming up Friday. So those are like massive mover days. So you leading up to those days, it's very tough, man. Like you don't get good follow through. You see how we're not getting follow through here? We're just wicking back and forth. And that's how you just get wrecked trading some of these candles. You just constantly will be trying to jump in and just get whipped back. Sounds good, Fish Lips. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that's why we're kind of being stuck in this range. It's basically consolidating, waiting for that big news event that's going to get released tomorrow morning. So you'll see a massive move tomorrow morning. Like I almost want to take this short on my eval. Shoot, I didn't get it up there in time. I don't think we're going to get it. Just trying to short that 75 down to 65. Really need to wait for my 21 to get under the 50 here because the 21 is sitting at the 90 for me and the 50 is still sitting at the 86. Kind of waiting to see if this 400 is going to hold here. Yeah, it's holding. Are you trading whatchamacallit today? Bitcoin? Here's the Bitcoin charts. Looks like it's stuck. Is anybody else trading anything else here besides the NQ futures? Like I have silver on here and also Bitcoin, and I think we have gold listed on here too for if anybody just want to look at it. Gold looks like it's building up a nice little trend line break here. I think my Bitcoin charts are stuck because Bitcoin's not moving. I got to make sure I'm not on these accounts because woo, look at that. Thank you guys for the likes and follows today. If you liked and follow, I appreciate it. Let's see, when I switched to Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what I was noticing a while ago too, Jake. Whenever I switched over to Bitcoin, it's not moving. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what's going on with Bitcoin, with Ninja charts. I mean, everything else is working. This is NASDAQ. This is gold. Look at that trend line break on gold, man. Gold had a really nice trend line break here. Look at that nice little flag build up there. Silver was just straight up consolidation, so that would have been a tough entry. The order box is not available. I'm not really sure why it's doing that today. It worked fine yesterday. Yeah, it's frozen on all my charts because I have it on multiple charts and it's not moving on any of them. So, guys, there's not really anything for us to do right here but to sit. There is no like entries. There's no pullbacks. Right now, we're just kind of consolidating sideways. If you jump into this price action, you're just going to be like sitting in chop and you're going to be on the edge of your seat because we're just kind of going back and forth. So this price action is not the best to trade at the moment. I think if you can get above the 429s here and find support above the previous day high, that might be a good area for long. If you can kind of get above there and stay. All right, let's see what happens with this previous day high here. So now if we get a pullback, I will look for it long. But it would have to be back above the previous day. You're scalping smaller candles. Luke, we're trading MNQ. Micros on the NQ. We're usually trading anywhere between 2 to 5 micros per trade. So we're just looking for small, like $80 to $200 gains on each account because these are small accounts. They're 25Ks and 50K accounts through prop firms. So this is the one I have the most in, which is 53,100 because we took a $100 loss this morning on the first opening trade. We did take a second loss, but we got that one back. But the rest of them are green. This one, we made this last night in the Tokyo session. And this is the one that we're looking for entry on. We're trying to make $50 on this one so we can pass it. And we only got to make $50. So what about yourself, Luke? Are you trading at all today? Remember, even if we find support above this previous day high, you're going to run into resistance up there at 62 or 70, 62 area. So be aware of that if you are in a long. There's a big order block sitting up there. Big order block sitting up here. So be careful longing into that. Yeah, I only need 50 more bucks. So, and we still got a minute left on this 5-minute candle. We're waiting for a new 5-minute candle to see if we can print above the 29 here. So, oh, excuse me. It just didn't want to give it up, did it? So this is why I preach about not jumping in on 5-minute candles sometimes if you're trading on the 5 minutes, because if you jumped in this and you just get a massive pullback, the S&P is running right through the middle. Good morning, Outer. Boy, these pre non-farm payroll CPI numbers are not letting us down with this price action today, Outer. I was getting, yeah, I got destroyed this morning on that opening candle. Look at this big old 5-minute candle just whipping back and forth. That thing was like a rubber band this morning. I got hit twice on that thing. That's why we're down 93 bucks on our funded accounts. What's up, Chess? Good morning from the Philippines, Chess. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a good day. Waiting for a pullback to the 340s for the OB. What time frame is that on? Because I don't show a OB on my charts on the 5 minutes. What time frame is that, Outer? 10-minute charts? Are you trading today, Chest, or are you just watching people trade? The 14 minutes. I didn't know people even used the 14 minutes, Outer. But sometimes you got to do stuff different that makes it work for you. I understand the way I'm trading doesn't work for everybody either. And watching other people trade doesn't work for me. So definitely a learning curve there whenever you're starting out. I traded today. Luckily, it took the take profit. Nice. Yeah, I started out with back-to-back losses this morning, Chess. I was trying to trade the breakouts this morning on the 15-minute candle, and it was just whipping so hard this morning that it was just constantly coming back and stopping us out. My trading system has no limit time frame. So if we can't find another entry before in the next, say, 45 minutes, we just won't take one. Because we only need to make one trade work to probably pass this, because we only need 50 bucks. This is just ugly. Ugly, ugly. Today's like this is worse whenever you fail. You're like you take a loss and you can't stop yourself from trading and you just end up getting chopped out back and forth. That usually happens on this type of day when you're leading up to big numbered news, and when it's chopping like this, your day just gets ruined because of it. Like even this whole week would probably even be a blessing not to trade it. Is there anybody in the entry right now, or anybody looking for a target they're trying to hit? I didn't know if anybody was actually trading this. Can you move to the 15 minutes? Yeah, we can switch over to the 15 minutes. That's that doesn't look any better. Look at these ugly 15-minute candles, guys. They're just sticks. Straight sticks. We got one good 15-minute candle on this breakout. It's so messy, guys. Holy goodness. Woo. That's why I said today, man, is a day about surviving. You have those survival weeks that if you can make it through without jacking up your account. Yeah. This is a day that it happens. Oh my goodness. Let's check the 1 hour. I bet you the 1 hour looks like a freaking telephone pole. Yep. What is that thing? What, 50? So we got a 100.1 hour candle. That's like all stick. This is the 4 hour charts. Yep. This thing is going to end up waiting for the non-farm payroll news tomorrow. Oh goodness. Y'all seen like almost every trade that I've jumped in today, it's never been, it just goes. I'll have the direction picked right. It's just whipping back and forth. And I try to control how much I'm losing per trade. And so that's the reason what I do. I would prefer to take a small loss and move to the next setup. So I rather just take my losses. So that's why you'll see me take losses sometimes, but most time they're small losses. I'd rather just take my small loss and move to the next trade and trying to like hold this into deep drawdown. Uh, Bitcoin never did start moving. Man, gold had a really nice breakout a while ago. If you like to trade trend lines on gold, gold had a really nice one. Bitcoin's been consolidating. I mean, silver's been consolidating sideways until it finally had a little breakdown. Gold's really the only one that had like a nice trend line build up before it broke out this morning. Which I don't ever take gold trades, but it's there for anybody that's interested in trading gold. I know there's some people trading gold, silver. I had Bitcoin put up this morning, and we took a trade on Bitcoin for the first time yesterday, but for some reason, it's not working today. That's the nanos for Bitcoin. That's what we're trading is the nanos. Coinbase Bitcoin futures. Yeah, for some reason the nanos are not moving this morning. Don't really know what the issue is with that. See, you got out too soon. Woo, what are you you continue still taking trades. Woo. This price action's tough, Jake. Now, is that on Bitcoin? So this would be a long trigger for me on my Rico candles here at the 10, but I just feel like we're just still going to be chopping back and forth here. This is usually not a good day to trade, Jeremiah. This is the day before non-farm payroll. So today has been a very tough trading session. This platform is called Ninja Trader. If you're looking for an easier platform, I would recommend probably Tradeovate. Ninja can be a real pain in the butt to set up. I need to update some videos because I forgot to mention this in the video last night because it's been a while since I've done it. But let's just say you're setting up a new account. Unfortunately, I couldn't help Jake in time because I tried to find that last night. But you go to Tools, go to Options, and you have to make sure this multi-provider is selected. If not, it won't let you configure your accounts. Jake, I'm going to make an update video to make sure I put that on there just so that people know, so they're not spending a lot of time. And I forgot about it too because it's been so long since I've done it. That one and the RTrader Pro, that if Bullish doesn't work on that RTrader Pro system, to go to Ripnik Paper Trader. But see, you only got to do it one time, Jake. After that, you don't ever have to worry about it again. Just got the Traders for the Dummies book yesterday, and I'm trying to learn how to read charts. That's a good one. I don't know if I've ever looked at a book. That's a good one, Jeremiah. What kind of stuff did they teach you in there? Just like support, resistance, the opening, or... I'll be kind of curious about what they teach in trading books like that. To me, I'm always very leery on stuff like that. It's because if the books are giving away the golden answer on how to be successful at trading, I would think that everybody would buy that book and do it. But I don't know. I haven't never bought the book, so I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure it has a lot of the basic information in there that you need to get started. Yeah, it's definitely a huge learning curve, Jake. The main thing that I try to preach is help people not to spend a lot of money, because that's the key in the beginning of your trading journey. If you can start trading and trade cheap prop firms, I don't ever recommend a new trader to put your money in a trading account. Literally, most people that do that, if you go listen to other streamers who have become traders that put money in a trading account when they first started trading, they will probably end up losing that money. We didn't make a lot of money today. We just took small trades, Tim. We're actually red on one account. We lost the opening trade. I knew that was coming, man. I was on like a 3-week win streak, at least a 3-week win streak of the opening trade. And I knew today was like, and so So I was due for a loss. So we did take a loss on our fundeds this morning, only 93 bucks. So he's like, all right, whatever happens with it, we'll take the loss and move on to the next account. So we traded 4 different funded accounts this morning. And right now we're looking for an eval to trade that we need to make $50 more on. Yeah, today is very ugly to trade PAs on. If you can just get out with a minimum loss or a small green, just do that and move on. Today can easily wreck your day, especially if you have a hard time living with red days, because that is something that most of us all have struggled with or are struggling with. You're like, man, I don't want to have a red day, and you try to get it back, and next thing you know, your red day is like 5 times bigger than it was just holding on to your $100 red day. I try to tell myself tomorrow I don't have to see that red, or either that or I'll disconnect from Bullish and trade on Apex, so I don't have to look at that red day. You did. Oh man, I got my butt whipped on that opening this morning, Leo. That was my first loss in almost 3 weeks on that opening trade too. We had a good run going, so we were like $400 away from $1,000 payout, but now we're back down to $500. So hopefully, I'm gonna have to decide if I want to trade my funded accounts the next few days. No, they're sitting at 80%, but I'm hoping that they'll bump it back up to that 90% in the next week or so. So what I'm doing, Tim, is since I already have 3 funded accounts with Bullish, I'm trying to stack them with the evals. So this will be my 5th funded account with evals, and what it does, it kind of sits in a little it sits off to the side so you don't have to pay for it. So this way I'm able to stack evals without paying for them to be funded until I pass a funded account, because you can't pay for it until after you get a payout, after you got 3 funded accounts with them. You have someone like, well, thank you guys for the subscribes. Always look into other streamers too, man, because everybody trades different, and just take from, if like, oh, that looks like that works for me, I'll take that, then add it from somebody else, because that's what I've done over my trading journey. Just take little stuff from different people, or even stuff from the lobby. So one thing that there's this other guy in my other lobby, other page up here is because Tim, you guys are on the vertical page. I also have a horizontal page for YouTube, and the one guy in there, he likes trading whole numbers. And so what I've taken from that is, if you watch the charts, man, we always go from whole number to whole number. What I mean by that is from 100 to 25, back to 100, back up to 50, 75, back to 50. And I'll find myself trading in between the whole numbers. So a lot of times, if we hit the 50 and I'm looking for a push back up to 75, I'll try to get long around 60 to 65 and try to take it to the 75. But you also have to kind of like make sure it makes sense as far as your, if you pull fib, you don't want to be doing that into like premium. You either want to go in from premium into discount or discount back into premium. Okay, so you pretty much do the same thing, Leo. Yeah, it works out pretty good. Like my the way I have it set up now is I'm just looking for 10 points with a couple micros, and I have that last contract set up for 50 points in case we get the big runner, and I can adjust that one to wherever it needs to be. So that was a 75 hit. See how it popped off that 75 area all the way, and now we're may hit that 400 again. What did that get down to? 71? looks like we're trying to roll over. I think we'd have to get through those 61s. Or a lot of times I'll look for support and resistance, and I always try to make sure I have 10 points. Yeah, that's good too. I do a little bit of ICT stuff too, as far as like, not a whole lot, but some of it. There's another guy in our lobby, Outer. He does a lot of ICT setups. You have a long setup where 325. Let me place this down here just in case. We're just waiting to see if we're going to drop this or not. If we drop this, we're trying to drop it in the 80s. So this way, if we do get the pullback down to the 50, I'd have a new 5-minute candle too. $75, going to kind of go close to break even. Oh no, we just wicked off the 50. Okay, there it goes. Nice. We're going to take profit at 50. I think I'm already over my threshold. I need to check real quick. Yes, close the trade, close the trade. I'm already over my limit. I only needed to get to 26,500, and that pushed us over 26,531. So nice. That's what I was talking about, trading in between numbers. After we've retested those numbers and pushing back up, retesting the 400 level, the 400 level traded. So then what we're doing is we're trying to get about 10 points away for our next whole number. We trade different ways on different accounts. So my evals, I do a lot what you just saw me do, where I'm trading between whole numbers. But with my funded accounts, most of my funded trades usually happen in the first 30 minutes. So there's a 50 bounce. So now that you could possibly get a pushback up to the 75 here. So if we don't get the 75 push, it could continue pushing down, say, into the 310s here to kind of fill in this big gap down at the 310s. Let's see if we get the 75. So almost 25 points back up. So this is what I mean by trading whole numbers, guys. Look, 50 bounce all the way back to 25. So there's some guys in the lobby, that's what they're doing. They would have had a long sitting here at the 50. And usually what I would have done, I would have had an order resting at 60, just trying to get 10 points in a runner. So that's how I would have played that. Because I don't feel comfortable putting resting orders. I struggle with doing that. So I prefer to catch it from the back end. That's why you'll see me whenever I place orders, it'll be like this. So I'll have like it ordered and I'll drag it. and wait for the volume to come back into it. Yep. Methodical Man heard the back door. I guess Methodical Man worked up when he hears the back door. I don't know what it is about the back door, but Methodical Man's a fan. He gets all worked up for the back door. Come on, Methodical. Get out of here with that dirty talk. Oh, goodness. All right, so I don't have any more accounts to trade, guys. We done trade 5 different accounts today, so we've traded 5 different accounts today, so I don't have any more to trade. Someone needs to lock the back door. Oh, shoot. Ooh, are we moving back up here? All right. Was that the 400? Did you get the 400 hit on that one? No, it hit about the 98. All right, so far, like I said, we passed our last eval. Well, my next eval is gonna probably be with Luciv. I want to get a Luciv account to trade, but I was waiting to get through these accounts first. So let's see. Like I said, the one account that we had closest to payout is we lost today. We have a $93 loss. This one was a red too, but I ended up taking that short on that breakout when we broke out here. So I was able to get those losses back. So that's why we only have $60 in that one. This one we're up, what, 72? I don't remember where we took that trade. This one was on that long earlier where I put that line. I said if we broke above this blue line, oh, this one right here. Remember I said I put that little blue line here. We had that small 5-minute candle. I was like, if we break above this blue line, we should get a push. And that was that big boner candle there. And then the last trade was the one that you just saw me take on the eval. And that was this one here. We technically only really made $85 because I already had 115 from last night. So we were up 115 from the Tokyo session. And most of the time when we're looking for entries, I try to also look for hold numbers when I'm taking my profit. So like a while ago where we got short at 85, that 50 would have been my try to take profit at the 50 because you can almost anticipate a bounce. If you don't bounce at the 25, then you would also have the 300 where you can bounce. And you know, like anything in trading, it's like that like every day. You do have those days where you can you zoom out? You're talking about zooming in? Like, are you trying to see the whole charts? Or zoom out like this? Okay. You could probably see it a little bit better if you go to the vertical screen, Clearfield. Certified tech dealer. You can probably go to the horizontal. You can see the whole charts. You're on the horizontal one, so you see very limited charts on the horizontal. But if you oh, the bus's back door is always ready to go. No. Yeah, the horizontal you can see a lot more. Dirty methodical man. He's always lurking in the corner. Let's see. We can possibly. We got one more Ripnik account that we can trade on Apex here. I gotta log out of my Bulinox accounts and select it. We'll give it a few minutes to log in. Let's see, where are we? We only got $240 on that account. What time is it? 11? Watches gets like these crazy movements during the lunch hour, which I won't be able to trade for the lunch hour guys. We'll finally get some clean movement during the lunch. So the Bitcoin nanos are, maybe they're moving. No. Is anybody trading gold or silver here? Oh, man. Wow, we're back into our 15-minute range. All right. All of my EMAs are kind of pointing in the right direction on my Rico candle charts. What do we got left? We still got 3 minutes before this 5-minute candle prints. Can you go to the hourly? Yeah. The hourly looks horrible. Certified. Let me take out some of these lines so it's easier to see. I mean, look at this first hourly candle, just one big wick. And it's a wick all the way down to what, 240s this morning? If we can lose the 50s here, then get some kind of pullback, we might be able to look for a short. Oh, yeah, there's nothing worse. I've done that with funded accounts before, Jake, where I've taken them on not sim accounts, but evals instead of my funded. So that's always the worst. Let me make sure I'm on the right account. 26. There's a 75 hit. Don't want to break back above 400s if you're looking for shorts. We're going to go to break even fairly quick on this one, guys. All right. Good deal. Right now, we're just kind of whipping. We're just looking for 10 points. Did my runner about to get stopped out already? Come on. Damn it. Runner got stopped out. All right, we'll go down to 2 micros on this next one and see if we can get back into that runner. Now, if this thing breaks back above the 85, this is no longer a short for me. Like I said, if it breaks back above the 85 area, it's no longer a valid short for myself. It's right there at it too. Yeah, so if it breaks this previous candle, it's probably going to continue higher here because you'll be like a little flag kind of build up here. This, you want to keep the higher lows kind of intact. We got 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle, so there's a lot of time left on this 5-minute candle. What time is it? Nope, there it goes. So close. Now, it could be one of these deals right here where you get, even though it's kind of ugly, is a big kind of a flag build out. So you could break that trend and get like a little trend breakout here if it breaks out to the top side. And we didn't break this wick here on these last two candles. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that today, Jake. Still, we got 30 seconds left for a brand new 5-minute candle here. So if this thing can close right here and that next candle has like a slight little pullback, the longs may be better here. You get this little trend line breakout here. But you don't want it to be like a big wick like that though, because that just means the sellers are coming back in. You want to see this wick to be like this size, then the pullback be like 30 to 40% of the candle, then you start selling off. Let's see here. See, we're already at the 50% of the candle. For anybody that likes trading trend line breaks, ooh, I didn't expect that. Ah, damn it. I barely had time to get to break even. I was really hoping we'd go to the 25 for whatever crazy price action that was. That one caught me off guard. That happened so quick, guys. That happened so quick, it caught me off guard. That happened so quick. Oh, shoot. I barely had time to react to that thing. It whipped so fast. Oh yeah, no doubt, Outer. All right, are we going to get the breakout here? We get this little trend line break, might get a move to the upside here. Run this up to the top side. It's like it went down there to take out those equal lows. Look, it took out those equal lows sitting at the 50 there. All right, let's see. Yeah, I know. I like to see if we can get a candle to print, but man, we still got 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. It'd be so risky trying to jump in on this 5-minute candle, just doing the if you're just playing the breakout here. We're going to be patient and wait for the next 5-minute candle. We still got a minute, 30 seconds left. Nope. What time is it? We only got about 10 minutes left of trading, guys. And so we have to start kind of stepping away here at the 11:30 hour. Congratulations if you're able to survive today without running your account. We've been super cautious, if you guys haven't noticed. We're just doing 10 points and trying to get close as break even as possible without trying to keep from risking. I know we created 2 more equal lows down there at the 50s outer. We ran those equal lows a while ago. That was that crazy wick to the downside. And now we got 2 more equal lows. $50 isn't too bad. Wait, is that on a like cash account, or is that on a funded or eval? I mean, I guess a cash account it would be sad. On my 10K funded. Oh, well, that's not too bad then. 10K funded with $50. I could live with $50. I'm down 93 on my 50K funded today. Who do you got a 10K funded with? I don't usually see a lot of people with the 10K funded accounts. Or is that a cash account? Is that a cash account? Should have got it break even. We had some tough break even trades this morning because it was whipping so fast. Most of the time, I know on some of these trades that we're in, it was almost impossible to even get your, like even that last one wicked down so fast, I barely had time to even move my break even. And we're just kind of trapped at the moment. There's not crap we can do. We almost need to break here below the 50 level, and then you can maybe get the push down there to clear out this gap, to fill in this 5-minute gap down at 310s. So or I could just walk away. We made $60 so far on our funded 25K, which is basically $1,500. But I was trying to find one more. Ooh, we just broke those lows. How much time we got left on this candle? 5 minutes. Man. We just broke out the bottom of the flag here. So let's see if we can stay underneath the flag. You might be able to get a play down to the 20s. About 2 years consistently. Being about 2 years consistent. I spent the first 6 or 7 months like most people just doing it like one time a week here and there. But I feel like it's taken me every bit of 2 years to actually get comfortable doing this stuff, where before it was always very not so comfortable. Like I used to struggle trading my funded accounts. Like I would go weeks or months not trading them, you know, just one trade here or there. But now it's like we trade them every single day, no matter what the, you know, no matter what happens. Oh man, look at that. Did that? Nope, it didn't get the 25. I was like, did that get the 25? Yeah, it's definitely a journey, man. I don't even want to say it's the strategy that gets you. It's the freaking the emotion part of the trading that gets you. Like it seemed like it took me forever to overcome trading consistent funded accounts every day. So like today we've traded what, 6 different funded accounts today. But we're not looking for big profit either. Most of our trades we're looking for like 50 to $150 per trade. So, wow, did that thing just. Hopefully, no one tried to buy that breakout. This is why you got to be careful not buying breakouts on 5 minute candles. This is why I never buy breakout on a 5 minute candle. I always wait for a new candle to print. All right, let's see if we lose this 50 here again. Emotions. Wow, we see that much money moving. I've never done an account that big. That's pretty. I can imagine so. I would struggle with that too, trying to make that much money. It would just bother me. And I really want to short this. Just trying to be patient and make sure. Who are you doing your 300K funded with? I'm still not buying into the longs quite yet, guys. Oh yeah, Apex has had some really good deals on some of their larger accounts. That's who my funded are with, is Apex and Bulinox. Between them both, we have seven funded or 8 funded accounts between the two. We're getting ready to start a Lucifer funded account tomorrow or Thursday. I was just trying to finish up this last Bulinox eval I had, and we just passed it today, and it's at 25K. So we passed our last eval. So we'll have 5 funded with Bully and 3 with Apex. Hope I didn't jump in this too early. We were trying to catch that 50 break, guys. This is just 2 micros too, guys. So we're not in this thing very heavy at all. We're gonna go to break even after this first hit, just because this thing's just whipping so hard. You can see it's just whipping. Shit, this thing's going to get our runner. Got our runner. Let's see if it holds. We can maybe try to short it again. We're going to try to drop it around the 50 level. We're trying to get down to the 25. We haven't touched that 25 or that whole number yet. Oh, did that thing just. Mm-mm-mm. 75 will probably be my line in the sand here. We're in 2 micros. Here's what we're at. So right now we're down 40 bucks. Do we got the 25 in us? Back at that 50 again. So hopefully we get that 25 push here. There she goes. Oh, trying to get the break even because it's whipping. We're looking for 310. That would be that gap fill in here on the 5 minute. We usually trade. Lately, we've been trading twice a day. We trade in the mornings in the New York session. Then we come back and trade the Tokyo session. There's a lot of resistance around that 25, guys. So this is why we're trying to go to break even on this. But I only trade on Tokyo because that's what in the evenings, I usually have to do that to try to build my YouTube channel because it's so hard to build it during the New York session because there are so many people out there trading and streaming. So it's just tough. I was stuck forever. I swear it felt like YouTube wasn't pushing my channel forever in the New York session. I understand, they're pushing the larger channels. So our target is up. Actually, I'm going to do 20 and not 15. The target is that 5 minute gap fill in here and see if we can get that gap fill in. But you got to think every time we push down here, we always push back up. So this is why we're going to break even so quick. It's been one of those days where you're really not getting follow through just like that. So a lot of times what I start doing when the days are like that, it's better just to go and take your profit. The runners usually get stopped out on every single, because I find myself losing every single runner. Every runner that I've taken today has gotten stopped out. We're trading MNQ, Tyler. So we were a little over $100 on that trade, but we'll just settle for the 93. So instead of the, yeah. So we traded every single accounts. Where are you short from, Aaron? Be careful of the 25 bounce. So there's somebody in the other lobbies calling out at 25 long, and I wasn't sure if we're going to bounce off this gap fill in. I mean, unless you're short from way up top, you got to think I was just short from 49. There wasn't a lot of room there, so it was. No, I have been looking at silver. I want to get an account to trade silver, but I think there's only a few prop firms that will allow you to trade silver. And I know Elusive will, so I was thinking about getting an Elusive account to trade silver. Let's see. New windows. Remove. Pull back. Remove. So I also take trades on Rico candles sometimes too. So that last entry was a Rico candle trade. It wasn't a 5-minute trade, and so I also trade Ricos off to the side. They're just matching up. So whenever I take a trade on my Rico candles, they match up on here. So when I trade Ricos, it allows me to kind of not pay attention to all the wicks and the mess that you're seeing, and we're just taking pullbacks. So this was the candle that we took the short here on that last trade for anybody that's interested in Rico candles. So pullback. And once this breaks, I was short at what? I was short right below that one. So right above the 50 level. And so then I'm just looking for the blast. It takes 3 candles to make 10 points. So 10 candles, get your 10 points and see what happens with the runners. But if you see it look kind of weird when you're trading off the 5, so that's the reason why. Because I'm trading on Rico candles on some trades, especially when it gets really choppy like this. It's hard to kind of see the trades just because we're just small body and wicks, and with Ricos, I can see them a lot better. You did take your take profit, Aaron? Nice. Sounds good, Ethan. Yeah, hopefully the New York Open goes better for me tomorrow, guys. We took back-to-back losses on the New York Open this morning. Look at this dirty 5-minute candle. This thing was just whipping so bad, I thought we were going to get the breakout here, and it just kept coming back and coming back. So that's where our loss came from this morning. Yeah, that's where we took our loss. That was our only green. That was only our. We actually took 2 losses, but we got back 1 red. But we're going to live with this red here. So we're going to be down $93 in one of our fundeds. But I didn't want to put more risk on the table because we only need $500 more away for a $1,000 payout. So I'm trying to live with those little losses because, you know, I could have another 3 or 4 day winning streak starting tomorrow or next week. So we're trying to hopefully keep this thing above the 53,000 mark on the Beulah Knox account. But if not, as long as you keep your small losses and just, you know, take it on those good days. So that just happened to be the only one that didn't get to be green today. Outer, are you still looking for that 25 long? Did we hit the 25? I wasn't even watching. Nope. Where did you say your entry was, Aaron? You said you were short from somewhere. Where were you short from? Yeah, I'm glad we're done. I'm done trading for the day. I don't want to risk anymore. We were in the market a lot today, so 345. Okay, that was a good short. I'm not sure what kind of take profit you're looking for or how many points you're looking for. I mean, if you're looking for a 10-point trade, I think it's good. But I think we're going to struggle on that first hit of that 20 because that's that 5-minute gap fill in. And we still haven't got that gap fill in yet. We're still sitting here waiting. And that's sitting at 15. I know there's one outer in our one lobby. He's looking for a long off of 25. I can't remember what he said. Oh, I can't remember what he said is what's there, but I know he's looking for a 325 long. And fish lips, you're short or long from 350, so you're waiting for the 325 to add in for a reversal. Because I can see this thing going all the way back up here. I mean, this is a pretty massive, big flag right here, guys. I mean, this is... If you pull fib on this, so this is your golden pocket right here between this area right here. So this is definitely can be a nice area for a long if it holds. I mean, it's sloppy. It's been sloppy all the way down. So you're looking for 250. What size do you what size account? Are you just doing micros also, Aaron? Or are you trading minis? I guess if it's $150, it would have to be micros. Yeah. $50K combine. Yeah, I have no. I gotta get me another eval for tomorrow to trade. Can you teach me order books? I'm not sure if I know what the order books are, Noah. I'm sorry. Or maybe I don't recognize that name, order books. I might know what it is, but I don't recognize the order books name. I don't know if that means something else, what I think it may mean. Yeah, I know. That looks like a nice reversal long out of this area. Oh, order books is level 2 data. Okay. Okay. I don't really follow any of the level 2 data stuff. Most of my trading's off support and resistance and breakout trading. Like I trade most of the time from level to level. So I just try to trade what's going on at this, moment. That's why it's kind of tough to call out trades sometimes because a lot of times they're super fast trade. So like in the morning time, I usually trade the breakouts of the first 15-minute candle starting in the morning based off support and resistance. So basically what it is, whenever I'm looking at the 15-minute candle, I'm looking for like support and resistance either to the upside or downside and see which way we're going to go. Most cases, usually you get the nice breakout this morning, but this morning it was just whipping so bad that I got stopped out multiple times. And I don't usually hold losers. If they're losers, just get rid of them. So like we had a nice setup yesterday on the opening trade. So this would have been yesterday's trade. See, but instead of just whipping out, we pretty much had good follow through yesterday morning. So like, we had to push, we actually pushed out over 100 points. You can take these breakouts too. If that's something I know somebody else that takes the breakouts and not even wait for the pullbacks or anything. They just take the breakouts and just have your stop loss either at the 50% or at the top of the 15-minute candle. To me, I waited for the second move. I almost feel like I should have waited for that 5-minute candle to push this morning, but I didn't. And we could have probably got the right way. But it's okay. Uh, 2 years consistently. All right. So we switched back over to our accounts. Like I said, we are red on one of our Bullies today. I got to get off, guys. I have somewhere I have to be here today at 12 or 1. So we're going to be red in our main Bully account, the one that we have 53,100 in. So we lost $100 today on that account. So now we need $500 to reach that $1,000 payout. This one I was red also when I started out. We ended up grabbing that short back to the downside, so we were able to at least get our red back plus 60 bucks. This one we're up $89, won $15, and this was that one eval that I said I was looking for a trade to try to make 50 or 60 bucks on, because we only needed to make 50 more dollars to pass the eval. So, and this will give me my 5th Bullish funded account. So, and that was a lucky silver trade, so don't matter that. We've been kind of taking little silver trades off to the side. So here's your silver. Look at this silver dump here, guys. Insane. Silver's insane the last couple weeks or last month or so. I think it got so bad that people were making so much money that a lot of the prop firms had to, they stopped allowing some of the gold and silver trades, because I guess people were making so much money. I think the reason why they said they were doing it is not the fact that people were making money. They're saying that, and I know what happens. Don't trust me. It's crossed everybody's mind. People are basically going short and long with these accounts, and you don't even necessarily have to do it with yourself. You know, it could be you and a friend. You know, one go short, one go long on these prop firm accounts that has no consistency. So like Take Profit Trader, or there's a few prop firms that has no consistency. Top Step, I think, was one of them, and they're funded where you can make unlimited, like a bukus of money, just, you know, and you can make so much money on those accounts, because you're not really supposed to go long and short. You're not supposed to opposite trade yourself. That's in their little rules if you read over their rules. So now they may not care on your evals, but with funded accounts, they do care. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching today. We will be back for the Tokyo session tonight at 8 o'clock. Sorry about the opener today, guys. Sucks that it was a loss. I knew it was coming. We're about 3 weeks on a nice 3-week win streak, so I felt like it was coming. That's what I was telling a methodical man in Fish Lips this morning. I feel like I've been on that long win streak that I feel like I was due for a loss. I just hope it doesn't continue tomorrow. I think we actually may be careful tomorrow. I think the chart's going to be jacked up tomorrow. I don't think you're going to be able to trade tomorrow without the charts being jacked up, because tomorrow is core retail sales. Wait, that was this morning, Wednesday. So you have non-farm payroll, and you're looking at probably a 100-point plus candle on these non-farm payroll numbers. So that means that these numbers are going to happen at what? 8:30 in the morning. So that means that the chart's going to probably be jacked up. So it makes it harder to trade the opening whenever the charts are messed up like that. So I don't know if we'll be able even to take an opening trade. But that's why we're having such crappy price action today, guys, is because of non-farm payroll and CPI numbers coming this Friday. So and we just started using it. Somebody talked about using Forex Factory for news, and it's actually pretty nice. It's definitely a lot cleaner than investment.com. You can just kind of stroll down, pick out what country you live in, and look at whatever flag is going on. So I saw somewhere that Tokyo is on a holiday. So does that mean the price action is going to be really bad tonight? Let me go to investing.com. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. That might have been under, I swear I saw that somewhere. I don't know if that's tonight or tomorrow. Okay, I think it's tomorrow. Okay, so Japan has a National Founders Day. So I don't know if tomorrow night, if the Asia market's going to be moving at all. I mean, I know there's other Asian countries, but I just didn't know. Which I guess Tokyo, that's China, so never mind. So maybe it won't affect it too much. I'm not sure what time Japan's market opens, but I'm not positive. So just be aware that if you are trading tomorrow, maybe the price action is not as great tomorrow.